Hello and welcome to this Bellarine Community Health Emergency Management Plan Module 2 training run by Kaizen Synergy Law Firm. Today's session is on risk management, assessment and incident response. What we will be doing is actually walking you through the Module 2 Emergency Management Plan. And you will see that you have access to a document that is in front of your screen now. Now, as part of the risk management, emergency management plan section, there are areas that you need to be across. This includes the risk management, general prevention and preparedness strategies, as well as risk assessment and outcomes. What we're also going to look at is the incident response and give you an overview of the emergency situations, types of emergencies, fire warnings, as well as emergency responses, and also NDIS funded services identifying and assessing risks, and bushfire and grass fire obligations. So let's proceed on this overview of the risk management part of the emergency management plan. So essentially, the general prevention and preparedness strategies recognize that prevention of emergencies such as fire, flood, hazardous materials, incidents, and medical emergencies is of obviously paramount importance. Prevention methods employed by BCH will consist of a number of key areas. This includes compliance with OC health and safety codes and standards, compliance with directions and ongoing maintenance of relevant buildings, as well as implementation of BCH risk management framework, including mitigation plans to address identified risks, pre-summer fire reduction and regular building and grounds maintenance, as well as provision of training and completion of evacuation drills to embed policies and procedures. And particularly number 5 is important of why you need to participate in a number of the evacuation drills that are run by BCH from time to time. What you will also find is that there are risk assessments and outcomes that are also undertaken from time to time within BCH. And this is actually based on a risk matrix and emergency response procedures, and essentially the risk matrix in terms of assessment tools of what BCH has actually done to evaluate risks within BCH, and also the mitigation strategies to manage this. There are a number of incident responses. The emergency situations responses is actually defined under AS 3745/2002, which defines an emergency as any event that arises internally or from external sources, which may adversely affect the safety of persons in a building or the community generally and requires an immediate response. The types of emergencies that Bellarine may face can be obviously large and small. The Emergency Management Manual of Victoria defines emergencies as class 1, 2 or 3 or non-major emergencies. And you can see these in your screen and in this document as well too. What we have seen is also a recent change in the fire warnings as well. The fire warnings actually changed in the ratings from a code red to actually catastrophic. The catastrophic means that you are in imminent danger and need to take action immediately, and you will be impacted by the fire. The other ratings include extreme, moving up the chart, also means that you need to take action now. A fire is approaching you, conditions are changing, and you need to start taking action now to protect your life. The high rating means that you must be ready to act, periodic information to keep you up to date with developments, and moderate means plan and prepare, general advice will be provided, and no rating means that there is no action required. So moving from the most extreme being catastrophic right across to the no rating means that you need to be aware of what these fire warnings are and when and what to actually do within your agency. You will also find that there's key emergency responses that you're also required to actually undertake as well too. And essentially what this means is that any person identifying an emergency will raise the alarm and notify the designated emergency warden. And so it's good to know who your actually emergency wardens are within your agency. What you will also find is that dependent on when you are within the NDIS program area, BCH does provide NDIS funded services. Now, some of these NDIS funded services include continuity of care in nursing, and these particular services are those most likely to be affected immediately during an emergency or disaster management, as these are delivered on a daily basis and direct client-centered services. There are a range of other non-NDIS services that may also be impacted as well too. But it is important that you be aware of these different program areas and also be aware of notifying managers if you are made first aware of any emergency within BCH. You'll also find that the emergency management plan has been revised to include the following: emergency and disaster management, support continuity policy and procedures, which demonstrate that the provider's commitment to ensuring critical supports are delivered throughout an emergency, that processes to develop emergency plans which prepare the provider for emergency situations and enable a response, and also example emergency and disaster management plan, which has been developed in consultation with participants and their networks as well too, and also an induction training for emergency management. So you will find that BCH, as a NDIS funded service agency, may be affected by a range of emergencies, but there are ways in which these emergencies and yourselves will be supported, of course, during the emergencies themselves. You will also find that during events of bushfire or grass fire, then again, there are specific training and also implementation processes that BCH does have in place. And you can find these directly in these documents. What you will also find is that there's heightened bushfire risks in certain times. And again, you will be notified of this in the event that there is a higher risk. And this also includes where there is potentially catastrophic days that are approaching. And a catastrophic day is the highest fire danger rating in Victoria. Just remember that, because we just covered that off before. It signifies the worst conditions for bushfires or grass fires. Although many bushfires occur on days of lower fire danger rating, a catastrophic fire danger rating means that if a fire were to start, it will be uncontrollable, unpredictable, and fast-moving, very difficult to put out. There would be a likelihood that people in the path of the fire can be seriously injured or unfortunately killed. And even in the best prepared homes, they may not be safe as well too. So it's important to listen to the directions that are coming from BCH during these catastrophic days, in the event that they do or may occur in the future as well. If you have any questions on this, then certainly reach out to your contacts within BCH. You can do that by contacting Karen Digby, Michelle Day, and any of the executive management group, including the CEO as well too. If you do have any questions, we do urge you to ask and make contact with those people. Thank you for joining us today to look at the Emergency Management Plan Module 2, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.